Hey, it's JR from 95 Will Rock, the rock station, and I do other things besides work here at Will Rock overnights. I get the opportunity to interview musicians for a site that I created called Straus Project, strausproject.com. And we have reached an agreement with Will Rock in 2022 to bring some of these interviews to you. And it is my pleasure to bring you the first interview on this page with a Hall of Famer. It is Mr. Rick Nielsen, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
What's going
how you
on? Thank
doing?
you so much for taking the time today. I know the
Uh,
pandemic has changed a lot of things with people, the way that I do things, including interviews. What has changed for you in the pandemic era that has changed the way that you go about your day-to-day business?
Um, everything. uh, Everything has changed, except I'm still good looking. So there you go.
Of course, dashing as usual. Give me something specific though. Like what do you do like on a daily basis that like when you go to an arena or you go somewhere that you play that you can't have the freedom to do anymore?
Well, we don't get to do like a meet and greet. We don't get to hang out with even the people we know. I mean, it's like so that's a bit strange. And not that I want to be you know glad handing everybody and all that kind of stuff, but it's like
Sure.
you can't do any of it. Even with relatives, it's been sort of weird. I'm cautious with everybody, even the relatives.
Well, and your band, the Nielsen Trust, playing the Genesee Theater here on the 22nd of January. That's a Saturday night. Tickets still available, by the way, at geneseetheater.com. You have a family band. This is a family affair.
Yeah,
Your son plays drums. You've got Miles playing guitar, who's married to Kelly, and this is a family affair. So you guys are all in this together. What are some of
yeah.
the what are some of the pros and cons of that? There's got to be like advantages and disadvantages to that.
Well, see, the advantages are almost everything. Get to play with these talented musicians. We just played last night. We did a stream for CDW, and that went all over the place. And that was kind of weird. The only thing that's weird about it was like there's nobody there to either clap or boo.
Right. So
Yeah,
you have no gauge of
yeah.
how well you're playing, right?
Well, yeah, we do, but it's always nice to have that instant gratification or instant humiliation. But so yeah, playing with the relatives, it's like if they weren't good and I weren't good, it'd be no good. But the fact that everybody's playing well, it's kind of refreshing.
That's awesome.
I've been playing with Cheap Trick for so long. It's like I look over for the singer, and Robin looks different now because he smiles, and Kelly.
Right.
So it's cool.
Has that given you a different energy, a new like a revitalization?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but if you want me to say that, I will. But
Nope.
I just like to play, so it's like fun to do. Really,
How many
that's what I like to do.
You're a guitar aficionado and collector. I know. I have a question. Nice. So is 5 next the limit, by the way? Is that as high as you go on a guitar?
I'm just getting started.
Yeah, you're gonna just
Well,
keep
since I have
expanding
I have three 5-neck guitars, so that's 15 right there. But yeah, I did that. I said I think my quote was, "If you're going to be ridiculous, be really ridiculous." So at that time, 5 was about as bad as you could get.
How many guitars do you own, by the way?
Well, I've owned about over 2,000 instruments, but right now I have about over 500 guitars. It's ridiculous, isn't
Do
it?
you that's yeah. Well, you said if you're gonna do it ridiculous. Do you have somebody full time that you employ to keep them in tune and cleaned and all that?
Well, I just did this thing for Gibson TV, the collection. It's like I obviously wasn't in tune because I got a lot of complaints about that. But they said you should have had somebody there. I actually didn't have anybody to help me. There were 10 people in the crew, but I didn't. They just pick them out, and it's like, okay, stop the camera here, and we never did bother to do that, so we didn't have them plugged in either. We were playing electric guitars acoustically, so it's like I got some criticism for that, but I don't care. I just did it because I liked it.
And that's the beauty is that you get to do what you want to do. You're involved in so many different things. You helped renovate the theater in Rockford. I know that you're
Yeah.
part owner of Peace Pizza with Dave
Yeah.
Grohl. Can you talk a little bit about that, how that friendship came about?
Well, it's not with Dave Grohl, but he's been there about 3 or 4 or 5 times.
I thought he was in on that. That's my mistake. Sorry.
Oh, your first mistake ever.
Yeah.
Plus, it's the first live stream here with you. I guess. Am I
That's
number
right.
one?
So yeah, you're number
It's
one.
better,
So
it's better be the number one than
yeah,
number two.
that's right. No editing. Right. It's all live. You'll see all the mistakes.
I'm used to that.
What is your favorite kind of pizza, by the way?
Thin crust, well done. There's so many different ones that I like, but I started that business with the guy's name is Bill Jacobs. It's Peace, Piece, Peace Chicago Pizza, 20 years ago. And it's still going strong. I brought a lot of musicians there. The Fab Four, they've been there. I brought baseball players and football players there, basketball players. And like I said, Foo Fighters have been there about 3 or 4 times. We also had Def Leppard, have them there. And they're all very nice eaters. They're not very sloppy. So
That's nice.
it's just good. It's just a good place.
They're just
I know.
fans are just happy to be fed. You know how that works.
Yeah, I know what that's about.
Yeah. So with that being said, I was talking about your relationship with Dave Grohl. Every chance I get, I recommend the movie Sound City to people because I think it's such a great representation of just the different things that we don't think about. Like my favorite part is the drum sound, but I notice in there, you're in that studio just jamming away with those guys and they are all in awe of you. What's that like to be there with a new generation of musicians that just appreciate your talent like that?
It's rare. I don't get that kind of appreciation from my wife or my kids or whatever, or my grandkids. But yeah,
we're not editing, Rick. We're not editing.
So I can say whatever I want then. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I knew Dave Grohl and I knew Nirvana because Kurt Cobain was a Cheap Trick fan, and he said once that he said we're Nirvana's like a Cheap Trick except our guitars are louder, and I said well my guitars are pretty loud. So, but it's very cool to be name dropped by other musicians because most musicians don't like to say anything about anybody else except themselves. I can't give the blame to. I don't really give the blame to too many other musicians about our sound. So, but that's great. I mean, the Foo Fighters and Motley Crue. I mean, we don't sound like any of these guys, but it's it's pretty sweet. Elvis Costello is, for them to say it as opposed to me trying to get a compliment out of somebody. Yeah, I mean, and that's not why we ever did it. I mean, I started out as a fan. I'm still a fan.
Let's go there. When you started out, one of your influences, if I went back 60 years and found 13-year-old Rick Nielsen, what would he be listening to?
13-year-old, I was probably listening to Sandy Nelson and the Ventures, because I started out as a drummer. So it's like Let There Be Drums. It was one of the things that I liked. I was a pretty good drummer too. Now I can't play for crap, but I don't play guitar for crap either. But there you go.
What made you decide to make the switch? It seems like this, Eddie Van Halen did the same thing. Started on drums, went to guitar. What made you decide to make that change?
Well, one, they were easier to set up. Bring a drum set up and down a flight of stairs. I mean, I used to deliver pianos and organs for my dad from his music store in Rockford, and it's like, if you ever carried a B3 up a flight of stairs or a spinet or a baby grand, or you carry a guitar, the guitar is a little better. and that wasn't really the reason, but it's like in the first bands that I had, I was playing drums. I had to get up off the drums to show the guitar player what notes to play. And I didn't, my parents were opera singers. And so it's like I knew music, but I didn't like that kind of music. But I knew a right note from a wrong note, and so I had to get up and start. I had to figure out on the guitar what that note was. If they were playing the wrong one, I didn't know an F sharp from a FU. That's a joke.
I got self-taught. So you're
yeah, so I'm
self-taught.
self-taught. And I still don't know it. Now I know that's an F sharp. Okay. The FU, I already did that.
Yeah, good. Yeah, right. So what do you have right now going on in terms of other projects? You've got this fabulous Nielsen Trust project going. That Cheap Trick album that came out last year, by the way, that was a nice surprise and took a couple years to put together, I might add, from the pandemic, right?
Yeah. That was, we just we do one song at a time, like collecting, one at a time. We would do a song and then we do another one. And, we didn't try to do everything all at once because then it starts to sound the same, same solo, same lyrics, or whatever. So, after we get 15 songs or whatever, then, hey, it's an album. Okay, hey, let's maybe put that out. And every record we do is different, but it's at the same time, it's like one of the things I say, and it's half a joke, but it's like, thank God we never progressed. We never tried to be something we weren't. We weren't trying to be, all of a sudden it's all keyboards or it's all try to be speed metal. It's like we just, we like the Yardbirds and the Who and the Rolling Stones and the Move, and I'll keep going down the list here. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's great. And it seems to have worked for you guys. I don't know. I think you guys may have found maybe a groove there. 2016 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee Rick Nielsen with us for a couple more minutes. He's got a show with the Nielsen Trust at the Genesee Theater coming up on Saturday, the 22nd. What can we expect from that? Well,
it's a good cross section of songs that mainly stuff that I wrote, that a lot of stuff that Cheap Trick doesn't do. We put out 20 albums with Cheap Trick, and it's like, I think I can only name about 5 or 6 songs that we've ever done, but we have a lot of others. So we include those in the set, and then we do some stuff that Miles Nielsen wrote, and Kelly, she's singing. It's a good, well-rounded thing. And Miles has done a couple songs I wrote, but different cool arrangements too. So it's like an arrangement is like an edit. Hopefully you can edit this and arrange it so it's halfway decent.
Right. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
All right.
If you're still looking for tickets, you can get them at GeneseeTheater.com. It's Hall of Famer Rick Nielsen.
I better see you there.
I will be there, actually. I'll see you there.
All right, cool.
Thanks, Rick.
Appreciate
the time.
Sir. All right.